Oh, guys, we got to leave the 20s. For me and you. We're letting out the 20s. Oh, I hate to leave the 20s. All that jazz. It's such a good time. Makes you want to do your face like this. Man, that's a face only mom could love right there. Louis Armstrong. All right. Out of here, 20s. Headed to the 30s. That's right. Headed to the 30s. That's what we're doing here. All right, here's a little introduction to it. Going into the 1930s. You'll know a lot about it, I hope, during the Great Depression. Stock market crash. All right, there's some things you may be familiar with. You notice this is very short, sweet, to the point. That's it. It's all the review right there, and we'll get back to this in a second. But, yes, if you pull out your notes, we'll get into these things. We'll knock it out real quick. It won't take long at all. Welcome to the 1930s. We need to put that somewhere. Let's put it right here. Put a big old bracket. I know you can't do this. I'm doing it. 1930s. Yes, 1930s, because that's what we're looking at. Starting in 29 and going all the way up into all the rest of the 30s. Okay, so here we go. Get yourself ready. Have yourself something to write with. Then your notes, your blank sheets. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What were the causes and consequences of the Great Depression? That's what we're looking at. What are the causes and consequences of the Great Depression? You have to tell us what is the reason why the Great Depression happened and what are those consequences. All right. So here we go. Though the economy of the United States appeared to be, it's a P word, appeared to be, can you say it? Can you say it? Prosperous. Things were doing good. It was prosperous. It seemed like the 20s, everybody's laughing, having a good time. Got cars, washing machines, everything's doing good in the 1920s. The conditions that led to the Great, that's right, you can say it, the Great Depression. The conditions that led to the Great Depression were created during that decade. This standard will measure your understanding of the factors that led to the Great Depression and how it affected the people of the United States. Pay attention to this because we don't want you to go through a Great Depression in your own personal life in the next few decades that you have alive. So pay attention. Let's have a good time going through this and learn something. Here we go. The title is The Interactions of Business, check it out, Business, Overproduction, and Consumer, can you guess? Underconsumption. They just go together. So we're going to be talking about overproduction and underconsumption. Your first two causes of the Great Depression. Overproduction, producing too much, and underconsuming. We're not buying enough. So it goes like this. During the 1920s, the wealthy, can you guess, grew wealthier. That's right. The wealthy grew wealthier due in large measure to government fiscal policies that allowed them to keep more of their money, and that reduced business regulations. These reduced regulations and low corporate taxes increased the profits of corporations and made their, what did it make there? Make their, you guess what it is? It made their stocks, that's right, made their stocks more valuable. That's right. Start thinking about what's called the stock market crash. Overproduction, underconsumption. All right, eventually there'll be a stock market. All right, at the same time, the poor and, can you guess? The poor and working classes, lost. They lost the ability to buy products because their, watch this. This is the definition of inflation. Their wages stayed the same while prices, what did it do? It's inflation. Prices rose. So the wages of the working class were staying the same, and the prices rose. So they couldn't buy as much. This reduction in consumer consumption resulted in business. They're not buying enough, so businesses are overproducing. So business overproduction, and eventually caused business profits to decline. These factors were an important cause of the Great Depression. So overproduction, because people aren't buying as much as they need to, and underconsumption because people don't have nothing to buy it with. Now, new methods of buying products, including the installment plan and buying on, guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? What were they buying on? Were they buying on, it's a new word for you, buying on margin, became popular during the 1920s. Buying on margin. All right. These methods encouraged consumers to buy more than they could afford and to go into debt. That's right. Worst of all, banks loaned, or excuse me, they loan people, that's right. Most of all, they loan people money to buy stock. All right, that is the definition of buying on margin. So let's put this all together right here. Check it out. So buying on margin is when a bank will give you money in the form of a loan. They expect to get that money back. You go and you gamble it in the stock market. Now, do you know if that stock's going to, if it's worth $10, if tomorrow it's going to be worth $11? No, it might only be worth $9. So if you take out a $5,000 loan, go buy stock with it, and all of a sudden that stock goes down, you just lost money, but you still owe the bank. It's going to hurt you. If you can't pay it back, it's going to hurt the bank. So that's buying on margin, all right? So buying on margin became popular during the 1920s. These methods encouraged consumers to buy more than they could afford and go into debt. Worst of all, banks loaned people money to buy stock with very little money down. Now, the stocks themselves became the collateral for the loan. That means that the banks, if you couldn't pay for your loan, the banks got the loans. But that's not really help them out at all. This is called buying on margin, or that's right, buying on margin. Rising stock prices and the ability of ordinary people to buy stock on credit increased investment in the stock market. It increased the investment in the stock market and inflated the price of stocks above their actual, that's right, above their actual value. So this looks like everybody's buying all this stock, and the stock's price is going up because everybody's buying it. Ooh, it's a valuable stock. But really, because people are buying this stock with gambling money or monies they took out as loans, it's really a false value that's happening to these stocks. Then, by October 29th, it's actually October 29th, 1929, the U.S. economy was beginning to show signs of, what's it going to do? Slowing down. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Showed signs of slowing down. Stockholders feared the economy was ending a period of prosperity. That's right. Stockholders feared the economy was ending a period of prosperity and entering a period of decline. This caused some stockholders to panic. That's the key word, to panic. Oh my gosh, to panic. And guess what they're going to do with their stock? If you're panicking, I'm worried about my money, I got to get my money. They're going to sell their stock. That's right. Sell their stocks. As more people sold their stocks, other people, what caused it? What caused them to sell it? Panicked and sold their stock as well. All right, so we back that up. Then in October 29, 1929, the U.S. economy was beginning to show signs of slowing down. Stockholders feared the economy was entering a period of prosperity and entering a period of decline. This caused some stockholders to panic and sell their stock. As more people sold their stock, other people panicked and sold their stock as well, driving down their prices and causing here it is, a stock market crash. Stock market crash. Oh my gosh, we've got a crash. Stock market crash. Now, in turn, the stock market crash triggered other economic weaknesses and plunged the United States into the Great, and y'all know the name of this, the Great Depression. All right, which is a severe economic recession in the 1930s that affected who? All the world's industrialized nations, and the countries that exported raw materials to them. Industry, trade, construction, mining, logging, and farming decreased sharply. Business profits, taxes, revenues, and personal income did too. Welcome to the stock market crash, caused by, again, there we go. Name the three things that cause the stock market crash. Overproduction, underconsumption. What three things caused the Great Depression? I just said it. The stock market crash. Buying on margin. Here, you check it out. Check these people out. They're all lining up to get themselves a job. We are in the world's highest standard of living. There's no way like the American way. And they're all standing out trying to find them a job. All right. There we go. That is the reasons for the stock market crash. The Great Depression of the 1930s. Go watch some movies like The Cinderella Man, the boxer. Seabiscuit, the horse race. It's a great time. Some good stuff on there. Go check out YouTube stories. This is great. Welcome to part 1 of the stock market crash, the 1930s.